Greetings, folks. This is Mason Weaver. Today is Thursday, February the 13th, 2025. And guess what? The Democrats and their plantation managers, the overseers, the slave drivers, the black Democrats, are trying to investigate or explore ways to give black people reparations from the horrors of slavery by Democrats. And they're angry because Trump is kicking the doors open on their plantation, and black folks are leaving the Democrat plantation and not joining any particular party, but joining the idea that they are free themselves. But let's talk about reparations, please. I'm confused. I've been black all my life. I was born in 1950. I do not know one thing today that a white man can do that I cannot do. There is nothing. I would suggest a couple of things would help. But first, let's look at the idea of reparations. 360,000 white men left their homes and marched south to fight their brothers over what they were doing in their homes. They didn't fight for money, they didn't fight for prestige, they didn't fight for land, they didn't fight for power, they fought their own brothers and died. 360,000 white men died fighting their brothers over a moral issue of slavery. What would it take to get you to leave your home and go hundreds of miles away to fight viciously your brother? It didn't concern you, it didn't affect you, it didn't cost you anything, but you gave your life. The biggest loss of life of any war America's ever had was the war to end slavery by white Republicans against black Democrats. If you want to honor reparations, if you want to give somebody reparations, you give it to the Democrats. The Democrats engaged in slavery. The Democrats beat their slaves. The Democrats raped their slaves. The Democrats had food to make you healthy and strong as you're young and die before retirement. The Democrats have always been the party oppressing black people. Dr. King, every demonstration of the civil rights movement, every protest, every march, every sit-in, every boycott was against Democrats. You have never seen a riot in a Republican-held city. You have never seen the Democrat Party do anything that you like. Democrats started the KKK. Democrats, type but equal. Democrats, the party of misery. The Democrats own every ghetto in America. Shall I go on and on, folks? Your enemy is not the white man. Your enemy is the Democrats and their slave-driving hypocrites, those black folks with them, to get their money on managing misery. I did a video once. John Lewis, before he died, of course, came out and announced that Trump was an illegitimate president. And that night, I heard him say it Saturday night. On Sunday morning, I got up and made a speech on my video before I went to church, telling who John Lewis was. He was a hero. John Lewis was a brave dude. Civil rights movement was going pretty rough. He ate that tear gas, took them whips, took that dog and rocked on him. Takes a real man to stand up and dust off and not kill somebody. But John Lewis crossed that Petmus Bridge, got attacked by the police and dogs and tear gas, and dusted himself off and joined the Democrat Party and become a black Democrat slave manager for the Democrat Party and spent years getting rich off of managing the misery of black people. So folks, that's America. You have paid the price of slavery. And I know some of you think that black folks still don't have the rights. We have the rights, we just don't have the nerves. Because everything white people do, I can do now. There's not a job out here white only. There's not a restaurant you can go to that says no whites or no blacks or no Hispanics. We are a free, open country. So what happens? You get people that are going to Democrats to raise their kids. Folks, are you kidding me? Nobody. People, let me tell you now. I'm 75 years old now. Let me sit back and be a grandpa. Let me tell you something. Honestly, human nature. If you give your kids to someone else to raise for you, to educate your kids in their schools, if you give them to police and let them manage your entertainment, what kind of music you listen to, what you feel is important, if you give them that power, they will raise your kids to work for their kids. Who would not do that? You give them all the credit, all the honor, and they pick your music for you. They make those kind of musicians rich. They make those kind poor. Music is important to black folks. Those songs got us to get them fields done, and those black Negro spirituals got us saved. But you go out and sing these songs now, folks. Somebody tell me, black folks, tell me. Music inspires you. Gospel music inspires you. Rock inspires you. Country western inspires you. Classical music inspires you. Will someone please tell me one thing that rap music inspires you to do? What is it about rap music that you want to be a leading component in your culture? Nothing. That's master's language. Those folks are getting rich because master want them to be the messenger for you. They tell you what shoes to wear. They tell you, and we sit around trying to be cool instead of being hot. We try to be bad instead of being good. The language given to us and our culture given to us, the slave culture. They taught us how to treat our women. The slave driver got more prestige, the more babies he made for master. Now they call him Pook and Ray Ray, making babies all over the place. The master would take care of them for you. It's called welfare. And he would raise your kids to work for his kids. He'll get money managing all your misery. They get aids for this. They got contributions for this. They got government programs for this. And they make their money in managing your misery. And you praise them and vote for them because they tell you how much they're going to work for you. Yes, slave. But you will never see a Democrat-led government program that works. You never see it. But they keep telling you every election, we got to get this. We got to get this for you. Poverty pimps. That's what I call them. So black folks, don't buy this mess. Don't buy this mess. At the end of the Civil War, they wanted to give us 40 acres and a mule. That would have made us financially secure, this nation. If we had given us, because we had all the skills. Understand now, after the Civil War, we were the ones that could plant the cotton, and we were the ones that could cut the cotton. We're the ones that could pick the cotton. We're the ones that could clean the cotton. We're the ones that got access to keeping the material straight and keeping the plows working. We knew how to run the fields, and we knew how to run the garden, the plantation. So after the Civil War, we had all the skills. Had you gave us 40 acres, we would have dominated the South economically. So they killed Lincoln, Democrat, killed Lincoln, and the Republican Johnson took over as president and wiped all that stuff away. So if you want to know your history, his story, you know that the Democrat Party history with us has been war, death, disease, poverty, drugs, gangs, every time they take over our neighborhood. So let these poverty pimps sit up on Congress with their sharp suits and looking good and have the name of congressman. Let them pimp you if you want to. Reparations will come with restrictions. And how's it going to work anyway? You know, how's it going to work? Do you get reparations for black folks that came in from South Africa and wasn't slaves? And by the way, do you have to repay all your aid, your welfare, your programs, your specialties? You have to pay that back? Are you going to get reparations to people in states that was not in our country at the time? California. California was not part of the United States at the time. Folks, don't let them give you anything. Because anything a black man thinks he can do, they know. Anything a black man thinks he can do, he dominates. So you black folks out there, think about this. How did Jack Johnson become the first black heavyweight champion of the world, knocking out white men in Arkansas and Alabama, Mississippi, and married to white women? No one ever lynched him. How did Charlie Pride become the first country western singer of the decade, singing in honky-tonk bars in Mississippi, Alabama? Everything we think we can do, in spite of white folks not liking it, we dominate, folks. They know that. They bred us to be strong and eager and hardworking and masculine. And at 18, there's no man more stronger than a 19-year-old black man. We're bred that way. We're also bred to die at retirement. And look at us today, folks. We dominate every sport: boxing, football, baseball, basketball, track and field. We dominate but then we die of age 69 of high blood pressure and diabetes. That's Master's plan. Because you give your life to Master, he'll use you, make money off of you, but when you retire, nobody wants to feed a retired slave. So they got us in this idea of a black culture. We have no black culture. We have master slave culture. A culture given to us so we can make more babies for him. Now I've written 12 books in my career. The last book was It's Okay to Leave the Plantation. It's okay to leave the plantation. There's another author here that has a book of the exact same title. His came out, I think, in 2024. Mine came out in 2018 or 19. So mine came out first, but he's also a conservative, Republican. Democrat Party hates America. They hate everything you love. Everything you love, folks. Everything. White folks, black folks, let's stop the mess. Let's come together and stop the BS. We know what's happening. We know we're not slaves anymore. We know we're not oppressed anymore. I live in an all-white neighborhood because I like the house. I did not ask permission. I didn't seek to find out somebody approved me or not. I earned the money. I like the house. I'm here. There is nothing I cannot do in America. Folks, don't let them trick you on that. Get the book. The Democrat Party hates America. I'm not going to send you to Amazon. I'm going to send you to my site, masonweaver.com. masonweaver.com. You find all my books there. You buy it directly from me. If you put a note there, I will autograph it for you in the way you want me to autograph it. Let's start spreading the truth. We are not slaves. We are free. Nobody's going to take care of our children but us. The black culture does not exist. We have to build it. We're going to build it. There is no black culture. It was given to us by masters, the slave culture. Our food was given to us so we can die early. Our habits were given to us so we can die early. If you want to be free, folks, you got to act like you're free. You got to act like you're free. Did I say it? You have to act like you're free. Freedom is a verb, something you're doing. And every black woman and every black man should be coming together as a couple with the intent of raising your kids yourself. Do not dare give your kids to public schools. Don't dare do that. Look at the statistics. Every ghetto in America, the kids cannot read and write. Everyone. Is that a coincidence? Is that something that we hadn't expected? Every place you see it. The cost is high. Everybody's making money on black kids. The cost to educate a black child is very high. $30,000 from freshman to senior year. But your kids can't read. They can't write. They don't know their history. They don't know the Constitution. They know nothing but how to sit in class and let the teacher get paid. Let's stop this. Take control of your kids. Please stop allowing somebody else to raise your children. Think about yourself, folks. If I gave you 40% of my income and control of where I live and control of my children, would you raise my child to dominate your child? Stop giving your kids to these poverty pimps that are sucking the life out of them and putting drugs in their hands and guns in their hands to put them in jail, to make money on jail too, folks. Let's stop. If you want to be free, you better act like you are free. We don't need affirmative action. We don't need reparations. We need to get the Democrats out of our lives. So join us on leavetheplantation.org. Go to my site, masonweaver.com. Buy the book. Buy all the books. And let's get together online and discuss ways we can free ourselves, because unless you're free in God, you're not free at all, folks. Just Mason. Stay right or be left. Eternity is a long time to be wrong.